Okay, so I had my subscribers send in some questions for you group of girls. So I just want you to give your honest answer. It's a mix of a ton of different things, so there's pretty much everything in here, but just be honest. Next one, how important are a guy's political and religious beliefs? Like
So,
someone that you're dating.
For me, it's really important. My friends have like done different things, like they've dated people with different political or religious beliefs. I feel like having different religious beliefs is easier to do than have different political beliefs.
At this point in time, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, because I don't know. For me, it's like one of the first things that I find out. It's just
it says a
huge
lot.
to me. Yeah.
A lot of times it's like the underlying foundations of your character.
Yeah.
Not all the time. Some people are, right in the middle. I mean, it depends on the situation, but I think a lot of times you need to have some underlying foundation there that matches up.
Right.
I don't think that they have to be exactly the same as long as they don't force their beliefs on you.
Yes.
Like, you can have, no one's gonna 100% agree on everything.
Right.
But religion, I think if you strongly feel towards something, like a certain religion or spirituality, then you probably are gonna want to be with somebody who feels the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're kind of open, then it wouldn't matter as much.
Right.
But personally, yeah, as long as they're not forcing their beliefs on me and they respect my opinion,
Right.
They can differ a tiny bit, but it would be better to be similar.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely for me.
I knew you were gonna say that.
That's personal preference. There's so many couples who fall on different sides, and I am so curious how that works every 4 years.
I, for the life of me, can't understand how that works.
I just imagine every 4 years it's just like hell in your house.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. So for me, politics come down to morals, and there's a lot of moral foundation that is where politics ultimately come from.
Yep.
And if you don't agree with those things, then you probably don't agree on a lot of things in life.
Yep.
Religious is kind of different. If you're, for example, if you grow up Catholic and you only go to church on like the big holidays and you want your significant other to come with you, that's fine. And say they're not religious at all, fine. It's a couple times a year.
Right.
But if you're devout and it pretty much has a role in your everyday life and the other person does not feel the same way, or if they're really strong like atheists or something, it's just not going to work long term. I've seen it happen with friends of mine and it just never ends well.
For sure.
I think it's important because it reflects like your morals and your values.
Agreed.
My boyfriend's Jewish and I'm Christian, so it's something that like it just depends on each relationship. I think if you're like respectful of the differences and like your morals and your values are aligned, that's super important. But I do think like it does play a pretty big role in a relationship.
Totally agree. What do you want in a man, and then what do you think men want in a woman?
So I think that women want in men fidelity. I feel like just someone who's gonna be there for them / me. I feel like a lot of times in relationships you get really close to someone and you think you love them and you love each other and you have this great relationship, and then there's always like this event, I call it, like where something huge happens and it's like a life milestone in your relationship or just in life, and they react badly. And to me, like, not always, but if it happens twice, like, that shows more character out of the whole relationship than anything else. Because if it's a random Monday and they're like, I love you, but like, say like something really awesome happened to you and they get all jealous and they ruin the night for you, that kind of like
that's huge.
Sets the tone for everything, in my opinion. So I feel like no matter how awesome they can be from day to day, when it's a really important thing and they kind of drop the ball, that's going to immediately turn me off. And then I don't really know how to act from day to day after that. I'm just like, everyone has off days, but I think no matter what, if it's a really important day for someone, whether it's good or bad, you need to be there for them.
And when they know it's important to you too, like it's important to be supportive and encouraging. I think for men and women, like that's something that we should all be looking for, is a good partner. You can have preferences and you can prefer a blonde over a brunette or whatever it is for you, but the underlying things have to be there to have a good relationship with someone, like regardless of what you look for.
I think I mentioned this briefly earlier, but definitely ambition. Somebody who has goals, has a vision for their life.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have to be trying to be the richest man in the world or whatever, but they have a goal, they want something specific, and they know what they want in a woman. So like they know what they're looking for, and they're not just like gonna take whoever's walking down the street comes their way.
No desperate things going on.
Yeah.
I think they want the same things.
Really?
Yeah, I think everyone wants somebody who, like I said, has goals and ambition, who has interests, who has good, close relationships in their life. If they have no friends, they don't hang out with their family, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, to be really basic, somebody with a job, I mean, you want somebody who just has a passion for life, and they are excited about doing somebody who wants to go do things besides like sit at home. There are people who are homebodies, but you want someone to bring you out of your comfort zone and be like a partner in life and challenge you and make you better. You don't want somebody who's just going to like sit on the couch and be lazy with you all day.
Right. And as a man, I can understand how maybe you wouldn't necessarily care as much about, you know, how much money the girl you're with is making. Like I feel like girls care a lot more about that than men do. But on the flip side, do you really want to date a girl that sits on the couch all day and scrolls through Instagram?
And spends your money?
And spends all your money? No.
To me, that I don't really, to each their own. I cannot imagine how a man would still be really attracted to that person, because they're just living off of you, and what are they doing? Like, it's just not, I don't know. I love to hear my boyfriend talk about work and what he's excited about, just like he's excited for me and my wins. And I think that's a huge key part of relationships working.
Yeah, and you have to be supportive and encouraging. Like, I don't know, my boyfriend will sometimes talk about stuff he's doing at work, and I'll give ideas, or I'll listen to him, and you kind of talk about things and how you can encourage each other and support each other, not just be like, oh, I hope you had a good day. Like, there's got to be some intellectual balance there, I think. And I think a lot of guys overlook that when they're looking for a girl, because they only focus on the way she looks and maybe not what's in here or here, and things always go south.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, obviously, guys they focus on looks a little bit more than women do. Generally speaking, that's not for everybody.
Right.
But I think as far as like the basic personality traits and somebody they want to marry ultimately, I think some of those things are probably more similar than people realize. There, of course, are going to be some differences because men and women are very different, but at the end of the day, the basic fundamentals you're looking for in a person are usually kind of the same.
Right, and you should want the same things in a partner.
Yeah.
I would say independence. Like, you can take care of yourself, you have your own thing going on, you're confident, and like just a guy who's like decisive and knows what he wants.
That's a good one. So confidence, that's huge for that one. And then what do you think men want in a woman? Because a lot of people think men and women want different things.
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on if they know what they want. Like, if they know what they want, like if they're ready to settle down, they're looking for a serious relationship.
Yeah.
They're going to know the type of girl that they're looking for. And so I don't think there's really that much of a difference, because it's the fundamentals are the same.
Yeah.
You know what personality traits you like or don't like. You know what interests you want them to have. But then if the guy is maybe not ready for a relationship, then they might only be looking for, you know, a hookup or whatever it may be, or attention.
I actually would assume a guy would want the same thing in a woman that like I want in a guy, like somebody that like has like good relationships, like friendships in their life, someone that has hobbies, they're career oriented, they're independent. I don't know, I feel like it would be the same things. But.
And I thought so too, and then I get a ton of comments like, men, we don't care about your career. And I'm like, that's so interesting, because if I didn't have a career or I didn't have any interest, I would annoy you.
Also, like, I don't think I want to be with a guy who doesn't care about my career.
Exactly. Like, you should be encouraging and supportive of the person that you're with. Maybe not from like a financial standpoint. Like, maybe he doesn't care how much money you make. Like, I think women sometimes care more about that than men do.
Yeah.
But be encouraging and supportive. Like, that's the least you can do as a partner.
Right. Yeah.
And then last question, have you ever ghosted someone? Why? And then have you been ghosted?
Yeah, I've ghosted a lot of people.
Okay, but you know what the difference is too? Some guys get very offended if like you don't reply to their message on Tinder. And it's like, okay, that's not ghosting. Ghosting is when you've been talking to someone for a while and you're like, you know what, I'm not feeling this and I don't want to have this conversation.
Okay, so here's what I do. I'm not afraid of confrontation at all.
No, I know.
So I will tell somebody how I feel, and if they do not like it or they don't take it very well, then I'm done and I'm not talking to you anymore.
That's not ghosting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair, and that is totally what everyone should be doing.
Okay.
When I tell you how how I feel about you, whether it's good or bad, the way you react says so much. And at that point, I have nothing left to give to you. I don't owe you anything.
If you react badly to it, then it's like, I dodged a bullet. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm glad I said that, because now I
100%.
see what I would have gotten myself into.
Exactly.
So then, yeah, I mean, I've never been fully talking to somebody and then just like one day never talk to them again.
Right.
Like, I've definitely said something, or at least like alluded to that I wasn't really interested anymore.
Right.
So I guess maybe I haven't. But have I been ghosted? I can't really think of a time that I have been.
Yeah, I don't know. I was ghosted once in college. I was talking to this guy for like 2 months. And he really liked me, but I was going abroad. So like, instead of just telling me and being honest, like, he couldn't do it. So I was supposed to go over to his apartment, and he just like stopped texting me. And I never heard from him again until like a couple months later when he apologized.
That's so weird.
I'm like, we literally hung out a couple times a week, every week for 2 months, and then he just like ghosted me.
Some people really don't like confrontation, and I get that, it's scary, but and it sucks to do those kind of things over texting, but you have the option, so at least you can say something.
And it sucks even more to just not give me a reason. Like, you literally just didn't say anything.
And then the person who got ghosted is going to be replaying everything they did, wondering what they did wrong. It's like, the least you can do for that person is give them an honest reason, be like upfront with them,
right,
and just wish them the best. Like, it doesn't need to be a big thing,
right? Because if you would have just told me that, I would have not have overreacted. I would have totally understood. Like, obviously I would have been sad, but I get it. Just be honest.
Yeah.
That doesn't
I've never
count.
hung out with someone, led them on, and then just disappeared. I would rather tell them the harsh truth
100%
than have them left wondering.
When I was like young, like,
it's like an immature
a little
thing.
bit and stop. It's definitely happened. I've never like completely ghosted someone that it was serious with, but I have noticed like there's been a lot of discord on Twitter about how like people will get ghosted on dating apps, and it's like, if you're not even texting and you've never met, you're not getting ghosted. They just don't want to.
Right, and if you haven't even met them, I'm sorry, but they really don't owe you an explanation.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, okay.
I saw this thing the other day. It was a video. I don't remember. I think it was on TikTok, and this guy found her on a dating app. They didn't even match, and he was messaging her, and she messaged back to be nice, and then he freaked out when she wasn't interested. It's like, you can't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
If you're that guy, please. Therapy.
And every girl.
I'm sorry, but therapy.
Oh,
like,
every girl I've talked to, this has happened to. It's happened to me. It's happened to you. We've talked about it before. It's happened to everyone. Like, chill out.
And stuff like that honestly ruins other stuff, because once you have an experience like that, like, then you're scared to start talking to other guys because you don't know how they're going to react.
Yep.
Like, guys, if you have friends that are doing this or you're doing it, you're ruining it for everyone.
Yep. And yourself.
People will be interested out there, but if you act like that, no one is going to be interested in you.
Nope. Doesn't matter who you are. Yep. All right. All done.
Is that it?
Yep.
I feel like I was pretty serious in this one.
If you guys liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.